So let me welcome everybody. Judy, Irwin, and myself are going to have a little conversation about using the BCX, about fungal infections, and how challenging they are and how sneaky they are. So it is Wednesday, June 10th, 2026. And hello, Judy. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Penny. Thank you for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. Yeah. We were talking before we started and talking about some things you just can't really get rid of very easily. And Judy made a comment that I just want to be on the record about an old doctor or a doctor who used to use old methods. Is that correct?
More so than today's doctors do. I was working with him 30 years ago.
Wow.
And so he had had his clinic 22 years before that. I guess he was like in his late 70s when I met him. He worked up until he was 90.
Oh my. Okay. Wow. So, yeah.
Quite the character.
Yeah. What did he tell you about tuberculosis, which that can be one of the effects or symptoms, all kinds of lung problems from fungal infections, TB?
Right. I think the fungus can open the channel for the tuberculosis or
Yeah.
vice versa. And this gentleman worked with old-fashioned traditional homeopathy, which very few people do anymore.
No, that's
They
right.
have all this new stuff. But yeah, I'm not sure it's the best, but it's there. And so he said the tuberculosis was, which it is, it's an original miasm if you research homeopathy, which means it's past generational.
Yeah.
And he told me, I mean, this man had had tremendous success for 20 some years in his own clinic, that he never cured a cancer without working on the tuberculosis.
Oh,
That's why I think so many people in a family get it, because it's being passed through generations.
right.
Now, a lot of people don't understand that concept. I think probably your audience will more than most, because you talk about things like that.
I think let me say what a miasm is.
Yeah.
So let's go back to in utero, the
Right.
mother or the father, mother and father, hopefully they're both there. But you have this little infant who is developing. One of the big factors that we don't really pay much attention to yet is that that infant is developing within the light system of the mother.
That's
And
right.
that is a critical factor. You can change the, we'll call it the genesis of any egg and sperm by changing the light that it is filtered through. And so the light touching that fetus. So what happens if you have a parent, either one of them has that energy in their field, their frequency field, that's going to show up in the frequencies. And then the child is formed in that field and
Correct.
has that imprint.
Goes
And
in there.
yeah. And then gets born and has the same thing. And then they eat the same thing. They have the same emotional teaching.
The background, the environment's the same.
Yep, exactly. And they carry it on. And so they say, oh, it's a genetic weakness. Well, that's not exactly true, because it's really a frequency set.
That's right.
Passed from mother to child and to father. If the mother's sleeping next to the father at night, his frequency field is impacting that infant in a major way. And here we go, stuff gets passed.
Well, and not only disease organisms, but traumas can be passed that way too.
That's right. That's right.
If there's a big blow up and they think about getting divorced or what have you, then
Yep.
the fetus takes all that in.
Everything.
And learns from it.
One of the things in the lab we discovered was that anything that touched you left an energetic imprint. Didn't matter what it was. Everything. So that's what you see, what you hear, what you feel, what you smell, what you taste. That's, everything that you experience in terms of movement. care.
Everything has an energy field.
Yeah,
Everything. Anything you are around, you're taking in at least part of it.
right.
Even if you think you've protected yourself, which a lot of people think they have, but they're
I
not.
know.
It's
There's
really very efficient.
no
They tell me,
protecting.
oh, this little button's going to save us from 5G. Uh-uh.
Uh, yeah. Well, I don't want to break people's, their bubble, but we need to re-engineer our world. So
I know.
yeah. And one of the things that we're not going to get away from is fungus. It's
That's
just
true.
part of the natural world. Things break down. And so I thought maybe I was dealing with some kind of fungal infection. And the
Mhm.
reason that I thought that was because I used to have all these red spots, actinic keratosis
Tell me about that. Yeah.
on my skin, probably 40 or 50 spots. Those are precancerous. And so I
Mm.
started, I need to get rid of these. I started healing, doing all kinds of stuff. Got down to just a couple of spots, would not go away. Absolutely would not. And when you're doing everything and nothing changes those few spots, you have to stop and say, okay, what am I missing?
Mm.
So I go back to stand in front of the mirror and I'm looking at those spots and I think, you know what? Every one of those spots is right over a sinus.
There you go.
And
I've got a story to go with that
yeah,
too.
so I thought, you know what? I might have a chronic infection in the sinuses.
Mm-hmm.
Did all the bacterial things. And then I thought, let's try fungus.
Yeah.
My, yeah,
Mhm.
it will take you right down. So,
Yes, sure. I had a similar situation. I would get this horrible thing right here, this
oh,
big spot of thing. Like you're talking, this patch, only mine was really irritated and awful.
yeah, sometimes it would bleed.
Uh-huh. I was traveling a lot and I noticed finally, after probably over a year, it got better when I was away. And
Oh,
so I come back and I say, okay, what is in this place that's
yeah.
doing this? Well, it was a fungus that grows in the dirt of the house plants.
Oh, wow.
And I was devastated. I knew you were going to love this
Uh-huh.
because I just love plants. And I literally had dozens in the house all the time. And so I
Wow.
started eliminating them and it got a little better. And when summer came, I could put everything outside and it
Yeah.
got much, and there was my proof. And it was like, okay, well, you can't really have plants with dirt.
Yeah.
And the dirt needs the fungus and the plants need the fungus. It's part
That's
of the
right.
natural growing, but I have an immune system that can't tolerate it.
Oh, wow.
And
Wow.
it would do these horrible things. And so many people, we read plants clean the air and plants do this, and we all love our plants. And it was devastating for me to have to get rid of all the dirt. And
Yeah.
I used tea tree oil until the whole world smelled like tea tree oil.
Yeah. Yeah. I know that I started back on carrot juice, apple juice, and garlic. 1 cup of carrot juice, 1 apple. Also, goes through the juicer. So it's a carrot apple juice. And then 1 big fat garlic. Um, and I smell like garlic. The whole kitchen smells like garlic. I put it in the fridge. The whole fridge smells like garlic.
Everything smells like garlic.
Yeah, but they closed over and faded
Mhm.
to a light pink. And I thought, okay, so nothing's raw. All
You just have to fix this where the fungus is coming from.
yeah, and garlic is a powerful antifungal.
Yes. Hmm.
So yeah, if you can do that, you evidently can't.
No, I can't do garlic.
Uh,
All the years I tried every once in a while because I'm more like, well, am I ready for this one yet?
yeah.
I could
Oh,
sure use the help. One thing I have found that is pretty powerful and works real well for me is grapefruit seed.
oh yeah. Okay. Yeah,
So
that
since I can't do garlic, I had to find some alternative that would help. And that was it.
can you have onion?
Not only a little, not
Okay, yeah.
not raw, not raw. Has to
Oh,
be. Yeah, I know. And then you've lost it.
yeah, right. I know.
I
Oh my,
mean, I don't belong on this planet.
yeah. Well, I ended up thinking I'm just going to look into fungus and see, and what actually goes on. And so, you sent some things,
Oh
some
yeah.
some lists. So, I'm going to read some of these. Okay,
Hmm.
these are big words, you guys.
I use it.
Chromoblastomycosis. What? Say it
That's
again.
why you get to read it.
Okay. So one kind of fungus is chromoblastomycosis. Another kind is cryptococcosis. Another kind is histoplasmosis. So
Yeah,
those are all fungal infections that you can't really, if they get a hold of you, they can be life threatening. And if they get to be chronic, and you don't know that you have it, then you're susceptible to other things because the immune system is busy, busy, busy trying to take care of the fungal infection. And in the meantime, other stuff is invading. So let me just read what this says here. If you let a fungal infection go untreated for too long, it can spread to other parts of the body, lead to permanent tissue damage, and open the door for severe bacterial infections. In rare or immunocompromised cases, it can even enter the bloodstream and become life threatening. Symptoms of fungal infections range from mild to very serious. The exact symptoms depend on the type of fungus that has caused the infection. And here are some of the common symptoms for almost every kind of fungus. Asthma-like symptoms, difficulty breathing,
right.
or sometimes like this constant little dry cough. Fatigue, just cannot, gin up some energy. After fatigue, you might have headaches, just unexplained headaches, muscle aches or joint pain, night sweats. I find that I hear from people a lot. I'm having these night sweats. I don't know why. Nothing
Mhm.
else is obvious. So, do they have a fungal infection? Weight loss, chest pain, and itchy or scaly skin. And fungal infections can get into your hair, on your head, your skin, your lungs, your bloodstream, your brain, your gastrointestinal system, the vagina, your feet, all sorts of things. And if it gets into you, if it gets a hold of you, that's, you're going to start seeing, feeling some kind of thing, that some kind of symptom. And if you take care of everything that might be viral, might be bacterial, and you still have it, you have to look at fungus.
That's
So,
well, that's kind of why I recommend people start with the Candida. Look at what it says about the
oh,
Candida.
oh my, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, just something, everybody thinks that's the simple one. And that one doesn't do much damage. And that's the worst one because it's the most common.
Yep.
And so it's really
Right.
important, like you say, and especially if you're not getting any results with
Right.
these other things. If it's not a virus and it doesn't seem to be a parasite either, well,
Yep.
then, but of
Right.
course, any of it's a parasite because it's living on you. So
Yeah, that's true. And I had candida, systemic candida.
I did too.
Oh
Mhm.
my, it is nothing to fool with.
And
It's
they gave me
serious.
and it was a long time ago. There weren't a lot of remedies, and I took the
No,
drug, and oh my God, it almost killed me. I don't know which was worse, the fungus or the drug.
I ditto. Oh my, it was such a difficult thing. And
Mhm.
so I had to quit the drug. And then
Me
it
too.
was
I didn't
6 months.
last long.
Yeah,
Mhm.
six
That's
months.
when I found out I was allergic to the garlic, was trying to deal with the
Oh,
systemic candida.
okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Sorry about
That's
that.
a long time, more than 40 years ago now, 45 maybe, long,
Yeah.
long time ago. And to
Yeah,
make
it's
matters
a long
worse, I
time.
was living in Florida where it's the air is full of,
Oh, it's everywhere in Florida.
well, and you think you're on a really good, you're eating a good diet, and you get all this fresh, wonderful fruit. Well, the
I know.
sugar feeds it,
That's right.
and it's
Yeah.
so hard to come to terms with some of these things because you think you're doing the right thing and it ends up being the wrong thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you can't, like I could not have any carbs, no sugar,
Mhm.
no
Still
bread.
don't. No, I
Six
don't.
months was vegetables and meat. That was it.
know.
And I had to take some tannins. Tannins tend to squash or to keep the bloating down because every time I ate, oh my, I blew up like I was 12 months pregnant and it
Wow.
was uncomfortable.
Hmm.
I looked bad, I felt bad. Oh my, so
Oh, it took me longer than that to get rid of it.
did it?
It
Oh
was a
my,
couple of years, and I have never been able to go back to the carbs. I've been without bread for 40, 50 years now,
oh wow. Okay.
off of the sugar. I mean, now I can eat a little bit of fruit and things like that, but only a little
Okay.
at a time. I have to be very careful how
I
much, because it's so good.
I know. Oh my sympathies. I feel sorry for you. Oh
Well,
my.
it's better than the alternative of being horribly sick and not knowing what's wrong with you.
That's right. Yeah, let me read
I
the
mean, yeah, it's tough, but the alternatives of what it can do to you long term, and if you're really compromised, then you've got to really pay attention to these things if you want to have a life. Yeah, it's true if you want to have a life at all.
I know. I know. So let me read these. Invasive candidiasis, that's candida, is a
Mhm.
serious fungal infection. It occurs when a yeast called candida overgrows and spreads to your internal organs. Another name for this is systemic candidiasis. It's a common type of yeast, lives naturally in small amounts on your skin and in your body, but sometimes that yeast gets out of control. When that happens, it causes an infection called candidiasis, and it's usually minor, but it affects specific parts of the body, like your mouth, the vagina. If you get a string of yeast infections, vaginal yeast infections, you need to do something about the candida. That's
That's right.
really what that's about.
I
So
have news for everybody if they don't know already. If the lady has it, then her husband has it.
that's right.
I've had so many couples, and the men are so resistant.
I
But
know.
once he gets treated, then everybody gets better.
That's right. That's
If
right.
you're living like you said before, if they're sleeping right next to and interacting with, it's
Right.
really we share everything. We're all connected, whether we want to or not.
Boy, that's for sure. Yeah. Good, bad, or indifferent.
That's right.
So
You get the bad with the good and the good with the bad. So,
I know. Wow. So invasive candidiasis infections can be life-threatening. It
mhm.
spreads to vital organs throughout your body, including your eyes, your kidneys, your heart, and your brain.
Yeah,
It can cause severe complications like inflammation around the heart, and it can also damage the protective lining around your brain and spinal cord, causing meningitis. So
which is
here's some of the easy to spot, symptoms. Number one, skin, red, itchy, scaly, or cracked rashes. Ringworm, for example, forms raised circular patches. Fingernails, nails that become discolored, thick, brittle, or cracked. I've seen a lot of old folks whose fingernails and toenails are
mhm.
they're they're really bad. I
Right.
better looking hooves on my cows.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's serious. And then the mouth and the throat, white, cheesy looking patches inside the mouth, redness or soreness. The genital area, if it's there, it causes intense itching, burning, and sometimes an abnormal discharge, kind of a whitish discharge. If it's invasive or systemic, it enters the bloodstream and gets into things like the lungs and the brain, and it can be life-threatening. Symptoms often mimic severe illnesses or general infections.
That's right.
Yeah. Respiratory is like one of the first things. Persistent cough, shortness of breath, chest pain, and wheezing. So,
I think the other thing that it really can get into once it gets into the bloodstream is the kidneys.
yeah. Yeah.
That was a big issue with me, with the kidneys.
I think that's what killed one of my dad's kidneys.
Mm-hmm. And that it just virtually goes undiagnosed or unnoticed.
I know.
They're always looking for something bigger, and it's
Right.
this little thing that they take for granted. Well, it's just candida, no big deal.
Yeah.
But it can be a very big deal.
It is, yeah. If you see, well, let me come back to that. Okay. A couple more things. Systemic symptoms include unexplained fever, night sweats, and severe fatigue. Aches and pains, your head aches, your joints ache, muscles ache for no reason. You haven't done anything, and you still ache. Skin and blood, sometimes there will be dark scabs, blisters, or open ulcers on the skin.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then a couple other types of fungus that these are common, like aspergillosis. The fungus aspergillus affects lungs. I think that's, isn't that blue mold, aspergillus?
Can be. It doesn't have to be, though. It can be it can be white like other molds.
Can I? Okay.
You know?
And then
it's very common for that to be airborne when it's spores.
Yeah.
There's a problem to be off the plants and into the air, you know, when it spores out. So,
I think also it generally is not known that there's all kinds of stuff floating in the air naturally. Yeah.
And unnatural.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Blastomycosis is a lung infection caused by a fungus that lives in the soil in parts of the US. And then the candida, the chromoblastomycosis, you know, some of those others that I read. I actually, I think, is it aspergillus niger, like you see when you get out an onion that's been sitting on the cupboard for a month or two and it's got some black mold.
Whole spurs come off of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost.
That's aspergillus. And if you get that in you, that's called aspergillosis, I think. And that has some really, that, you know, the cough, the headaches, the joints, the fatigue, all of that. So,
well, you know, those are also things that are diagnosed as like fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue syndrome.
Yeah.
What is that? What's causing it? They don't ever seem to go to that point.
I know.
Why all over? Why are you always tired? It could be something like candida or aspergillus that's invaded most of your system and just kind of keeping you on a low drain, draining you always.
Yeah. Somewhere in one of the pieces of research I was doing, trying to figure out, okay, what's got a hold of me? I remember reading somewhere that that you could get this, you know, a fungus, and it would wax and wane just a little bit.
They all do that. Every organism does that, and especially if you work on killing them or cleaning them out, because you're probably never going to get 100%. And if you leave it 10%, then all your symptoms are gone. And these 10% say go into hiding and make more.
That's right.
And then in 6 months or 6 years or somewhere in between, here it comes again.
Yeah.
So they wax and they absolutely do that.
Yeah.
And some of the funguses, like the candida in people's gut, and it's more common. They do it on a 30-day. I met this lady one time that said, zap the fungus, 3 days, 4 days, and you'll be fine. And I said, well, what do you mean? She said, well, you just zap the fungus on the full moon. And I thought she was nuts. And I had been doing fungus forever. And I did it on the full moon cycle. And boy, oh boy.
Oh,
She
wow.
said 4 days before as the moon comes up and 4 days after. And she
Oh,
said it would lay dormant more. She said they are creatures of the underground and they lay dormant, but the moon brings them out. And
that
I, like I said at the time, I thought she was out of her mind, but it was true.
that's very interesting because we, in the farming community, you're always cautioned to weaken your weed spray if people still doing weed and herbicide and fungicide and all that. Weaken it during the full moon because plants will uptake so much more, and you're likely to kill everything if you're not careful. So,
Let's
yeah.
hope they're not using much of that.
Oh, I know, but that the
They
principle
do.
of the full moon, yeah, that's good. So let me ask you, what did you what did you use? What frequencies did you use on the BCX to
Well,
start
that
with?
was a very long time ago. And of course, that 211 Candida that's on the pre-programs that I
Yeah,
recommended in my handout is
right.
one of the best. And there
I
are
agree.
a number of others. It's the best to start with because it covers several real common things.
Yeah,
And if it doesn't do it, go to the next. There, if you look in the book, there's
yeah.
fungus and mold and black mold and you know,
Right.
I have another frequency list, which I do share with people, even though they don't read the emails. They say, I knew this. And that gives you all these different molds and funguses that have been named. But of course, you have to put those in the machine. So,
Okay.
and I had the black mold, and then I had a thing similar that came off of the palmetto trees. It was very similar to smut, which grows on barley and corn.
Yeah, that's supposed to be a healing agent in the right, prepared the right way.
Well, it wasn't when it was airborne.
Okay. Yeah. I've seen the first time I ever saw smut, I was like, oh, what is that?
Yeah,
It
I
looks
know
gross. Yeah.
it is. And then you think about when it spores and it goes into the air. And so that was one of the ones, and
Oh,
they're very similar, grew on the palmetto bushes after it rained 100 days like it did down there.
oh,
And it would make me so sick. And it took a while before I figured out that was the one.
wow.
And then, of course, I think I've mentioned to you that I developed special frequencies for
Yeah.
certain. The other thing that we have a lot of fungus that comes from environmental pollution
Oh
and
my.
with our
I
weather.
think that's because there's so much, um, what would I say? So many toxins destroying so many forms of life.
Mhm.
And, and mold is one of the signs that, okay, this is degenerating. This will
Right, because it
liven
comes
up.
in to clean it up. That's right. That's what it does.
Exactly.
If a tree falls over in the forest, the mold comes in and
Yep.
disintegrates.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a natural agent, cleanup agent. So
Wow.
many things are being weakened
Yep.
and it just comes in. And if you're not paying attention before
I
you
know.
know it, and nobody's telling you, oh, you've got fibromyalgia. Well, what's that? You know?
Hmm. Yeah, and fibromyalgia is something that can come from mycotoxins. Well, where does
So,
mycotoxin come from? It comes from molds.
well, in any of the critters, if you will, because
Yeah,
they're all living and dying and breeding and doing all this, eating your, they're doing their thing inside your body, and this creates waste material, and that's the mycotoxin.
yeah.
Toxin is that waste material.
I think I haven't used the aspergillus.
Hmm.
Aspergillus is um, one of the first things listed in the book. In
And
the
it's a real good
BCX
one
book.
if you have a lot of lung issues.
Okay,
That
yeah.
Gillis can be very helpful for that.
I went through the book and I read every single line and circled every single one that said mold or fungus. And then
You must have a
I went,
lot.
there was a lot. You're right. Oh my gosh. And then I went back and thought, okay, which one of these should I try? And then I think the last time we talked, I said, well, I started with 211, which is candida, and then 454 and 456, and then
Right,
Phyty. And then there were like 5 or 6 mold things, and I went down like a stone.
right.
And that was like, oh, okay. So my intuition about those were the ones to start with, that was good, but it could have gone a little easier. So
You did too much.
I did. I
You
did.
have a tendency to do that. A lot of people do one or the other. They either do too little or too much. You've got to find the median. You can't just
Well, I've gotten a little bit
ground
more
yourself with it.
when I don't feel well, I'm like, I'm going to get rid of something.
You
But
and me both. But I'm going to spend 2 days in bed. Forget it.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I don't have time for that. But
Well, that aspergillus one I haven't tried, but all the rest that were like major kinds,
well,
major.
and when you try that, try it with your sinuses. Work on your sinuses with the aspergillus.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll try that. Yeah, because
Uh-huh.
that's the one, that I've been targeting. It's like, okay, I'm gonna figure out something here.
And I tell people that it helps a lot if you put the ray tubes like right here
I
or
do.
right here. You don't want to stick them in your ear or anything, but don't be afraid of the ray tubes, and you
No,
need to
you know what I
use
do? I
where you need to work. If your liver hurts or your kidneys hurt, put it where
yeah,
its
I
problem
stick
is.
them in my bra,
Go.
and they rest right here. And
Yeah.
I go to and I have the machine right
Yeah, I
here beside my
never thought of
desk. Yeah.
that. Yeah, that's a good idea. You put them under your arms. I stick them in my pants, and I have kidney from when I was so very sick.
Oh, ah,
I had a lot of big kidney things. They told me I was going to lose, that I was going to have to live on dialysis at one point.
oh, oh, you do not want that. I know about that.
Oh, I never went there, but it was a huge struggle because there again, it was so many years ago. There was no internet.
Yeah.
You had very little information that was really 30
Right.
years, 40 years ago. The alternatives were this big,
I know. You'd spend
And
your life in the library looking up stuff, trying to find answers for this, that, and whatever.
yeah, that's right. So it was tough figuring it out.
Yeah.
Still one of
Wow.
my big points, and I know a lot of people neglect to take care of the kidneys. Everybody works on their liver, but it's not just your liver, it's your kidneys too.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm very particular. We have kidney issues that run in our family.
Hmm.
And I have a younger cousin. She's probably, I'm going to say 10 years younger. She died maybe 10 years ago um,
Hmm.
from kidney failure. And
Yeah,
my grandfather on my mother's side died from his kidneys quit when he was, I think, 69 or 70.
yeah,
So he had a good life, but it was a rough end. So yeah, kidneys.
yeah.
Yeah. And then my dad, one died, one kidney died. They just left it in there.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
It's one of the few times I went to the doctor in over many years, I didn't do anything, but I wanted to know. And they said I was in big trouble with my kidneys and I had to do this and that and the other. And I got up and walked out. So
Oh, okay.
I
Oh, you're
don't
sassy.
care.
Yeah. Well, what would you recommend that people run if they take antibiotics? Something like cephalosporins, whatever. I forget
That
what that's
you
called.
need the various cleansing ones that we've got in the support. The kidney, lymph, and liver support in the custom sets are really good.
Okay. Yeah.
I'd have to think about some of it and maybe make up a list.
Okay.
Mostly I try to get them to get rid of the pathogens and support everything and then get rid of the toxins that are been on medication for a long time.
Yeah.
The pathogens and the medication kind of have to go hand in hand. As you
Yeah.
get rid of the pathogen, you have to wean yourself off of the medication. Then you get rid of the toxins once you've got a little more energy, if you will, to deal
Right.
with something else. Right now, you're being poisoned at two directions
I
with the
know.
pathogens and the drugs.
I know. Sometimes you need a rescue, but by gosh, if you can get it before you get to that point, you can make
Mhm.
magic happen for yourself. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's part of the whole idea of what you teach. And what I try to teach
Yeah,
people
that's
is,
true.
that ounce of prevention worth a pound of cure. There's no way that isn't the absolute God law,
Say it again. Oh my God, say it again. It makes such a huge difference.
So
Wow.
if even though you're not sick, you go in and you clear out, say, Candida and Aspergillus, and you clear out some of the basic bacterias like the staph and strep. Those are everywhere, and they're part of the environment too. We've all
That's right.
got them.
Yeah.
And your basic parasites,
Yep.
then your body is stronger and it can maintain its own health better
I know.
rather than waiting till you're down on the floor and you're going to every doctor and they can't tell you what's wrong.
Yeah. You have too many things happening.
Yeah, you've let this waste and these bacterias and funguses build up and they're causing the
Uh,
problems.
I know. Oh my.
But they give it a fancy name, and then if you turn around and ask them what's causing it, they
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, that's true. It's been I can't remember now how long I've been doing teas, but it's been a while. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So when I first started, everybody I looked at had such terrible parasites. I was like, okay, did you do a parasite cleanse? How about parasite? And
Well, I know, I hear about it.
okay, so what I'm seeing now, and this is a couple of years, 4 or 5 years in now, parasites are not the big issue. Heavy metals are more of an issue. And just plain nutrient deficiencies and fungus. And
Fungus. Well, the fungus is in the sky. It's falling from the sky.
yeah, yeah,
There's
that
a
is true.
barrier agent in it all. Anytime it's there, you're breathing the fungus.
I know.
And I think it's a kind of a mixture. All these things are GMO today,
I know they
genetically.
are.
So I
It's
think it's kind of a
savage.
mix between the Aspergillus and the Candida because
Hmm.
they're the most common and easiest to make airborne.
Oh, wow. Well,
And you breathe it in. And
well,
once you breathe it in, there it goes.
yeah,
All through you before you even know to think about it.
that's
I'm
right.
coughing. I must have the flu or whatever.
I should probably mention one other thing that I'm seeing is people coming to tea, and they've
Mhm.
heard me rattle on for years now about you need to do this, think about that, maybe try this, start that, start anywhere you can. And they're now starting to say, well, I've done this and that, and this
Working.
this pain is gone, and that problem is gone, and I'm sleeping much better, and and I no longer have arthritis. And I'm like, oh my God, they're doing it. They're doing it.
I'm
And
doing it.
yeah, and I
Because I
think,
get a lot of your clients for the frequency device.
oh, do
And
you?
they are really doing it. They are. They get
Yeah,
better.
yeah,
Just,
they do. And they're
yeah.
delighted and they're amazed. They're amazed.
Well,
So,
one the other day that said she'd gotten some good results, but the die off was hard. So,
oh,
sometimes the cleaning up is hard on you. You've got
it
to kind of go
is
through it.
water, and a little more water.
Oh, and you made a comment, something I heard you recorded the other day, that you had been ill and you quit eating.
Yeah,
People don't realize that when they're sick like that, their food turns into toxins because they can't digest it. And I
that
thought, yay, Penny, because if you are really ill, you don't eat anything. I
that's
mean,
right.
maybe juice or something light, but your food just turns to garbage. And then you've got that poison
Yeah.
making you sick too.
And not only that, all of your energy, when you put food in you, that's,
Going to digest.
yeah, that digestion. I tell people, look, my daughter ran a dialysis clinic for a while before she moved to North Carolina, North Dakota, and is a director up there at a hospital. But we were aware. that, you could not eat before you went for dialysis.
Oh,
If you
because
did,
the toxins just triple in your blood and everything.
you would pass out. You would
Mhm.
pass out because the dialysis requires every ounce of energy that your body can muster while they're pulling out that blood and cleaning it and recycling it back in. And if you're using that energy to digest food, you'll go into a coma and you cannot eat. And so it's like, oh my gosh. People do not, that's the first thing you learn in naturopathic school. Stop
Yeah,
eating.
stop eating.
Yeah. And when I was taking care of my granddaughter while my daughter was in the military years ago, and she got strep throat. And
Oh,
and so I was right at that point where I was learning to be a naturopathic physician. And she's only like 4 or 5, maybe 8, something like that. And I said to her, okay, we're going to not eat. And she didn't care. She was so sick, she didn't care.
she didn't want to carry out.
So about, I kept looking in the back of her throat because her tonsils were covered with white. And after one day, it's still covered. About halfway through the second day, I thought, I think there's less. And she didn't have as high a fever. About the third day was like, holy cow. Like there was some sort of cleaning that had gone on, just a few little dabs of white. And by the fourth day, she said, Grandma, I'm hungry. And I thought, okay. So we made some juice. But that was the fact that her hunger returned was a sign it's time to start eating again. The
Right.
body is calling for food. And people believe that if you are sick, you should eat because the body needs food.
No, never.
No, absolutely. I have cleared, that's how I got rid of peritonitis. I
Mhm.
fasted, water fast only, 9 days. It's like,
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. I've been fasting forever.
oh,
And I think it's really helpful for your body to
it
not
is.
have all that food coming. We eat way too much. We don't need anything at all like we get. We're too
I know.
rich. This country, we have too much, most of us.
Yeah, we do. Yeah,
So
that may
fasting
come to an end.
always, yes, it very well may, quickly at the rate it's going.
Yeah, it's not looking very positive, but
Mm-mm.
yeah, well, back to the whole fungus thing.
Mhm.
Um, in terms of like athlete's foot, do you have anything specific for athlete's foot?
Isn't there something right in the book for that?
I'm I'm not sure if there is or not. I never looked at that. But somebody that I know just died. Um, it it was it was really sad because he had severe athlete's foot.
He had it systemically. It was in other organs in his body.
I think that's what
Yeah,
happened. And
yeah.
then all of a sudden he had this massive brain cancer, brain tumor,
Mhm.
you know?
Well, and see, it can also do, remember your one thing on the list was that it made the heart swell,
Yes. Yeah.
heart attacks,
Yeah.
stroke,
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
and B. And if it's in your bloodstream, like you're saying, it can cause tremendous.
Yeah.
If he had really bad athletes, it's
It
in his
was bad.
bloodstream.
It was bad. You
There are
know,
several of the organisms that cause that, and it would be prudent to use them all.
yeah.
Aspergillus, I'd start with the Candida. I always do because it covers the most common thing,
Yep.
and we
I
probably all
run
have.
Candida like every couple of weeks now. Yep.
It's not a bad idea, and depending on where you live, I'm in the desert, so I don't need it very much, but the
Okay.
pine trees do their pollen thing, and then the mold comes from the pollen.
Yeah.
And so I do it when the pollen's done, you
Yeah.
know.
Oh my. Do you know anything about trichophyty?
I have
Trichophy.
to look it up. Is that a fungus?
It's a fungus. It's supposed to be something that makes ridges in your fingernails, but I don't know if that's the case or not. I've tried to look it up. It's vague. There's vague information about it, but that's where my intuition says go after that next. And so a couple
I think
times,
the ridges in your fingernails are a fungus. It could
that's what
very
I've
well
read.
be.
I'm not
And
sure.
you have a farm and animals
I
and
know.
gardens and all of this stuff is full of it.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah,
And depending on where the weak spot is in you, then
yep,
one of it's gotten a hold of you.
yeah. Something has definitely.
Send me that name, spell it for me, and I'll
Um,
look for
Trico, Trico,
you.
and then Fighty is Phytie, and it's all one word actually. But
Do
you
it
know,
again, spell it.
Trico, Trico Fighty.
All right, I'll see what I can come up with.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I'll make sure there's a site called Electroherbalism, and they have the Caliph cross-reference. I've sent you that.
Okay. I think I was going to say, I think I recall that.
Yeah, it's a really good other reference from the
Okay.
man. And
All right.
the only drawback is you have to put it in your machine if you
Okay.
find something.
I haven't done that yet because I'm still working. It seems like some of it takes forever. So,
It does, and if it's become even somewhat systemic, then it's very hard because it's lying in all kinds of places.
yes.
And say you kill it in your gut or you kill it in your feet, then it's somewhere else it comes out,
Right.
in
Right.
your sinuses,
I
because
think it's in my sinuses.
well, it is, I think, in everybody's sinuses, and therefore it's also in their lungs. And then it's in your blood if it's in your lungs.
That's
One
right.
thing, it's a trickle down effect.
Yeah.
Really, I think the biggest thing we all need to do is to clean out as much as we can to start off and then work on not only staying clean, but keeping the immune system strong.
Yeah.
Because
Just
if,
recently, I got interested in the support things. Number
oh,
8, 9, 10.
they're the best things in there. You should be using them.
I heard you say that last time and I ignored it. But just recently I thought, how about a little support?
Well, and there's 594 in the pre-program that stimulate your immune system, and it's awesome.
594.
Everybody,
Okay, I just use custom program.
the custom support are kidney, lymph, and liver.
Yeah.
But the pre-program that's really good is the 594 to stimulate the immune system. And then there's another one that is lymph diastasis and a kidney diastasis in the pre-program. I don't know the number offhand, but they're very good as well.
Okay, I see the immune system stimulation thing. That I'm gonna try that here. It's
And we could collaborate and make a new list for some people if they wanted. If you wanted to put,
okay.
I
Yeah.
would like to help with that. And you can put it with the video if you want to.
Okay. Yeah.
And we'll use frequencies that they've got in their reference
Okay.
rather than sending them off to try to program.
Right.
But everybody needs to learn to program their machine.
Yeah, I think that's true. You just follow the steps.
Yeah,
So
have you done it? Have you
I
done yours?
haven't done it, but I've read through them and thought, oh, I can do this. But I haven't
Well,
still working my way through all the stuff that's already in there.
have you
So
seen any of the videos Marilyn has helped me with?
no,
Oh
no.
my gosh, they're wonderful. She's wonderful. You remember years back you said, Judy, you've got to make videos, and I'm going, no.
Yes, I
So
know. And I was thinking, well,
is
maybe I would do that. But then Marilyn came along and I thought, oh, wonderful. That's one thing
Marilyn
off my
is from
plate.
your group, and she has been amazing.
All
And she's
right.
helped me with all of this. And so we
Great.
decided that maybe the next one we do is going to be programming because
Oh,
everybody seems to have a problem with it.
oh,
But it's
okay.
really not that hard. But
No.
since things are changing and new things are coming,
Yep.
that we really need to know how to use this thing. And if you don't
I
know how to
agree.
program it, you're not getting the full of benefits.
That's right. That's right. And I think that there's going to be I'm just going to say a small wave, avalanche, small avalanche of information about frequencies and various ways, new things that are not in the book that are coming. We're right on the cusp
We're
of
going
it.
to have to grab that from everywhere and make sure it's
Yeah.
valid.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Of course, I've got a lot of it from all the work that I've done, and I've got my little
Yeah.
pocket, and I've sent you much of the information,
Yeah.
but it is much better for me if someone like you publishes it than I do, because
Oh,
you're a third party. You see, I'm the distributor and I've got a vested interest, and the legal whole thing is crazy. Like, I can't help people because
well, I hope some of those silly barriers are breaking down, going away, beginning to, we have to make sense. We have to use common sense. And
well,
that,
and we have to help each other out and share our knowledge
yeah,
because so much of it has been distorted, shall we say.
yeah, that's a nice way of putting it.
It's a nice way.
Oh my. Yeah, there's
When-
a lot. Mm. So I think, well, I'm going to check out the one that you and Marilyn do, the one on the
I'll send you
programming.
the links for them. I'll
Okay.
just send you all. There's 4 now. We've done 4.
Okay. All right.
Gonna
Wonderful.
do some more. And like I would have never done it by myself. Marilyn's just amazing. And it seems to be easy for her. So
It just is, that's the case for some people. That's how it is.
well, I'm noticing because I've got a woman young lady that I work with for 15 years now. And we made arrangements a few years back when I wasn't doing so well that she would take over if something happened to me. And she's in her late 40s. And I mean, the difference in the way they understand all this
Oh
technology is
my God.
astonishing. Nobody even 10 years younger than me
I don't,
knows it. And I'm like, I don't know what to do.
yeah, I have
And
to
you must
say,
have really been through it with all the changes,
yep.
all the things you.
Years ago, I started out as a computer repair woman for Zenith Computers.
Wow.
And, and my husband was building computers. We were building circuit boards, all kinds of,
Well, you know a
specialty.
lot.
Yeah. But then, the personal computer came out, and all of a sudden, it was
Oh,
more.
yeah. And it's still going like that.
I
And
know. And I had to decide, am I going to stay in the tech end, or am I going to stay in the hardware end, or am I going to stay in the software end? And I chose the software because I wanted to use the darn thing to see what it needed to do. And as soon as you step out of the hardware piece, it takes off without you, and you can't hardly catch up. So,
and it's hard to keep up with
yeah.
everything.
There's a whole new thing. Well, we're talking about fungus, not computers, but there's a whole new kind of circuit board coming out that I think is going to put the Intel chip people right out of business. And
Well, interesting.
yeah,
Every,
instead of
everything
transistors,
is,
they're
yeah.
not going to, transistors generate all that heat that need all that cooling. There's a
Yeah.
chip that does not use transistors. So,
Wow. Well, that would
yeah,
be amazing.
I think
I just wish there was more ways to shield from the harmful radiations that are coming off of all the devices
I think
everywhere.
we can certainly well, there's some things that I could say about that. All of those frequencies are in the whole soup around
Oh,
us,
no.
but when they concentrate in the form of a phone or, some other gadget, then you have to be asking yourself, isn't there a way to do this operation with a different set of frequencies, or where the shielding is built in? I don't know that they're dealing with that the
There's
way.
not a lot of that going on, and I am super sensitive to it. So I've had to develop my own things, and I think I've
Yes, you
shared
do.
EMF frequencies with you.
Yep.
They don't, I'm not going to say they totally cancel it out, but they definitely smooth things.
That's right.
And I think anybody that is aware of this, they need to think about this. And I think you tell people, turn your Wi-Fi off. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't need it on all night long. You're not up.
Yeah.
Turn it off if you can. You know?
Don't sleep with your phone. Don't, or your iPad, on and on and on.
Yeah.
And people, I don't sleep with your cat either. So, or your dog because you won't get any sleep. So,
Well,
um,
there's a parasite in the cats
yes.
that is very common, and it can get in the brain and cause schizophrenia.
Yeah. Oh my
It's
God.
very easily transmitted to the humans.
Yeah.
And
Toxoplasmosis
I
is
mean,
another thing.
I had a kitty and I slept with my kitty all the time as a young girl. As a kid,
Eh,
you didn't know any better.
no, I know. Oh
But
my.
that's what's wrong with me, you know?
Well, I think, we do love our pets, but we're not taught all the things. We're not taught to use our own power and our own common sense. So, we saw,
Well, and yeah, common sense is really important.
yeah, yeah, I
And,
would agree.
and
So,
that's
well,
the use.
okay, I think any other comments or questions or little tidbits of wisdom
I
that you would
guess
share?
with the funguses, you just really have to work on quite a few different ones and you have to keep after it. If you feel
Yeah.
like you've got a fungus infection, if you will,
Hmm.
um, 2 or 3 months, you're doing this at
Okay.
least once a week.
Yep. Yep.
And then when your symptoms start to go down, realize that it's cyclic and it can and will come back eventually.
Yeah.
Might be 6 months, it might be 6 years.
I
Or
remember me saying I went down after I did all those frequencies all at
yeah,
once. Then I didn't do anything, and they all came back.
yep, they all come back. People think that
Yep.
just because they got really sick and it all the symptoms are gone, it's totally gone. But like I
Yeah.
said, if you say you kill 90%, which you're probably not going to do anyway, you've even got
Not the first.
10%. It's like a little nest of mice or roaches or
Yep.
that's people think about the roaches up under the sink. That
Oh,
gets
gross.
similar.
I know. Oh my God, that is so true.
Hard are they to
Yeah.
get rid of without the poisons and the other stuff? So,
Yeah.
you've got to kind of work on it with that idea that,
Yeah.
okay, I'm better and it's gone some, but I want it to go more. I want it
Right.
to be, you want to get rid of 80 to 90%, which is
Yeah.
doable.
Yeah. I think that's, if you want to be healthy, you just have to kind of continuously be aware and keep
Mhm.
on working toward your goals, whatever they are. If something, really serious happens, you can dump these goals and go deal with that, but you have to keep at it. It's like exercise. You can't exercise for 1 week or 1 month and then think that does you for the rest of your life. Doesn't work
No,
that way.
being healthy is a lifestyle,
Yeah, it is.
a daily concern.
Yeah,
Like you say, most people do. They exercise at least 2 or 3 times a week, or a lot of people
yeah,
do. You
yeah.
don't just do it once a month and expect to be, I have to do my stretches every day, or I'm like,
I
I'm gonna
know.
lose.
I agree.
So I'm not going to quit that. And
No,
I do frequencies. I use the frequencies
yep,
every, why, 2 and 3 times some days if I'm bad.
yep. Okay. Yeah, my son always laughs. I come in or he comes in and there I am with these things flashing and he'll say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were communicating with Mars. I'll be back. And
I used to get these horrible headaches, and I would take the reed tubes and do that. I look like Frankenstein's bride or something.
I don't know.
My
Yeah,
husband would come in and go, "Oh my God, she's at it again."
that's okay. That's all right. When it fixes you, then you get the last laugh. So it's
And I
like,
used to make a joke. I still occasionally do. I would tell people, if these frequencies can get through my hard head, they can do anything.
wow. Yeah. Well, let's call it good for now. All right. Well, you take care. Thank you
You
so much.
too.